Welcome back to Defensive Coordinator U. I'm Mr. Football. Today we're going to be talking about Thursday practice planning. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Mr. Football here. Today we're going to be talking about Thursday practice planning. So, on Thursdays, everybody kind of has a different philosophy to Thursday. Sometimes, it's referred to as, walkthrough, perfect Thursday, whatever you utilize for your Thursday. For us, it's a helmets only practice. There's different rules of thought on Thursdays, and it really depends on when you play. But we're essentially today talking about our perfect Thursday practice. Not a lot of contact because we're talking about high school football, so we're playing on Friday nights. So obviously, if you play on Saturday or something like that, you just need to adjust your practice plan. But there's not really a whole lot to Thursday to talk about, and I probably could have almost did this at the end of Wednesday, but it's different enough to maybe warrant its own video. But and I've done this differently over the years, but currently, like, best practice for us has been, being very minimal and just trying to polish things on that perfect Thursday practice. It takes us about an hour to go through offense, defense, special teams. Usually let them go as far as players go. Like, they're usually done by 4:15. And then whatever we're doing that night, we're usually going to, JV, junior high games and so forth. And so that's kind of where, that's our practice essentially. And so sometimes we have home games. So, we're small school. So, we have to share our field, obviously. So, when varsity's off the field, like on Thursday, usually we have something else to do on those days. So really, it's broken up into 3 periods. As far as after like warming up and stuff, we start with defense. We start with kicking off the ball, and then doing our best 4 calls against the scout offense is essentially, or whoever we're playing, the opponent, best 4. The one thing that's different about Thursday is that we are, it's non-contact. We are more worried about communication, lining up, executing calls the way we want them. So as far as going through best 4, what we're trying to do is we're trying to line up against the offense's best 4, which is it's the scout offense with, our opponent that we're playing's best 4 plays. It's like what we talked about in Wednesday's practice plan. We start with best 4. So we kick the ball off to, essentially start practice with kickoff team. We do the best 4. So it's our best 4 calls versus, our opponent's best 4 calls. There's no real, the only thing that we're doing is kind of basing it off tendency. What are their top run plays? What are their top pass plays? What are they like? And a lot of times we don't always do this because every team's a little different. If we have enough data on those teams, like, we may structure it first down call, second down, third down, fourth down call, stuff like that. Sometimes we don't have that. So really what best 4 is sometimes is like, what are the 4 plays that we're probably going to see from this team? And we try to work it that way. And all that we're really doing, like I said, it's non-contact. So we're just the offense just walks through the play at about half speed. And we try to go through, the blocking isn't live. The blocking is more of like the scout offensive line is going to, step to their blocks where they're going, defense reacts. It's really half speed. So, we're not trying to get anybody hurt on a Thursday before a game. I mean, that's a lot of people's philosophy, really. It's a very light day. But once we do best 4, we will work, punt return in there, things like that. And then the offense kind of does its thing for a little bit. We end up coming back and doing a second series of defense. That second series of defense is really anything else we want to see and talk through. And I limit it to about 12 to 16 plays. And some of those last plays, we go to the goal line and work our goal line 2-point plays and stuff like that again. We have a few teams on the schedule that will do different things when they get to, like, when they score and do a 2-point conversion. And so the thing is like we want to practice those things. We want to practice certain calls on the goal line, and those are all things that we want to consider. And so those 12 to 16 plays can really be, adjustments to formations, things that we're going to want installed in the game plan, and just seeing those things executed. If we do anything different, we're a multiple front defense. Like we'll throw in our different fronts that we'll call. If we want to give like an odd front look, even front look, whatever that is, like we want to test those things out and make sure our players understand what we're trying to do. The final thing that we look at and this is kind of nearing the end of the total practice, is doing PAT field goal block. So we have a specific block that we may run depending on whether it comes from the left or the right side. Those are all things that we're going to look at. So Thursday practice is pretty simple defensively, and all it is really, if we added all this up, like it's 20 plays. We've also worked prevent defense in certain times, but that's if like we don't get it covered on Wednesday for some reason. But we are usually pretty good about doing a prevent check in practice, or because we just want to make sure we have everything installed. We want to make sure that we have everything we need before a game. If we've done it once, it's like, hey, guys, if we're in that situation in the game, it's like, hey, we did this on Thursday, let's go out there and go execute. Like that's what we want. So that's really the bulk of it, is best four and second series D. And later on in this series, we will go through and we will look at how we structure our scout cards because we do this just a little bit different. We don't use the same scout cards necessarily for every single day. It probably creates more of a headache for me, making them, but it's the way I think. So this is just how it is. And that's going to be kind of the bulk of what it is. So one of the videos we're going to do kind of in the coming weeks is a look at our scout cards, and I essentially still have it set up from our very last game from last year, and looking at that and seeing, what does best four look like? What does second series D look like? And how it all broke down. I have a system to it. And so I believe in having a system, for everything we do in football, and having a systematic approach, I guess, to everything that we do. So that's kind of where we're going with this. And if I say anything else, Friday, what is Friday for us? And I talked about this in our, video we did originally on this topic as far as practice planning. It's walkthrough, and it literally just means walkthrough. And that's what it is. So really Thursday and Friday, the only thing is Thursday is like we're on the field. Friday, usually we're not on the field. The only thing different with Friday is possibly like, when we get to the game, what are we doing pregame? And that's its own, topic, because I don't really practice plan we just have a way that we do games. Like we have a way that we warm up. So that'll be another topic we cover and I kind of just came up with it as we were talking here. So that's good. That's how new videos are made sometimes. So with that, that's going to do it for now. We'll see you guys back here in the next video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos in this playlist for defensive coordinator U, because we go through the other days of practice. So make sure to go back and check out our Wednesday and our Tuesday stuff for a full breakdown of that. So that's been our Thursday practice plan. We'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Mr. Football, and we'll see you next time.
Perfect.